here from the Cheerleading Warriors Mounted Archery in the beautiful Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And today we are going to start working with Miss Calypso. Rich in Vegas is her paper name. She is a 19-year-old Appaloosa mare. She came to me a few years ago coming out of an abuse situation, and we've slowly been taking our time getting her ready to maybe start her on mounted archery. So some things that we have done ahead of time was work on pace control, transitions, being calm under the saddle, giving us a nice smooth walk, trot, and canter. And now we feel like we're ready to maybe start introducing archery. So one of the things that I like to do in the very beginning is desensitizing our horse to the sounds of the arrows and seeing the arrows. Out of all the things we do in mounted archery, our arrows probably make the second most noise second to shooting. They rattle a lot, they move a lot, and they make a lot of noise while we're riding. So one of the first things I like to do is just kind of tap the arrows next to my leg and see how she responds to the different noises of the arrows. I like to rattle them, shake them, let her see them, and see how she feels about it. So right now she's pretty non-reactive, so I'm going to move on to the next step. Alright, so we've already tried to rattle and make noises with the arrows, so we're going to move on to the next step with Calypso, and that is desensitizing her to the touch of the arrows. So one of the things that I like to do is take the arrows and kind of rub them all over her body, let them rattle, kind of tap them around, make sure she realizes that's a good girl, Make sure that she realizes that these arrows aren't going to hurt her. One of the great things that you can do is follow it up with a verbal reassurance and petting her and telling her what a great job she's doing for standing still while you're touching her. I like to touch her all over her hindquarters, up and down her legs, under her belly, and see how she takes it. And right now Miss Calypso is doing a fantastic job, and she doesn't seem to care or mind this one bit. So those are our first steps into introducing our horses to mounted archery. The third things that we like to do on our list of desensitizing our horses for mounted archery is getting them used to seeing the bow in their line of sight. So I like to take the bow and kind of move it around the horse, move it around her head, see how she reacts. You want to do this on both sides of the horse, because if you're a right or left-handed shooter, or sometimes you're doing switch shooting on a quarter. So I just like to let her see it, put it over her head, make sure she's okay with it. Once she seems like she's okay with seeing it, I like to take the bow and rub it all over the horse. Let her see, kind of tap her a little bit. There's going to be days where you accidentally touch your horse with the end of the bow on accident while shooting. So we want to make sure that our horse understands that we're not trying to hurt them and that we have a true partnership. So I'm just going to touch her all over, rub the bow around her head, put it near her ears and down her face, just different places to make sure she knows that she's being a really good girl, and that we appreciate that she's standing here and being very kind and patient while we're messing with her. So now we're moving on to the fourth step of desensitizing our horses to the sights and sound of mounted archery. So we're going to get ready to take a couple shots next to her. Now there's a couple things you need to keep in mind when you're going to do this part of desensitizing. One, you want to make sure that nobody is in the range of you and your horse. That way, if they have a bad reaction to it, that there's nobody getting run over or hurt. Everybody around you should know that you're getting ready to take the first shot around the horse. Today, we're going to be doing it in a round pen. That way, if she does walk away from me, she's in an enclosed area and she can kind of regroup and we can try it again. So it's really important to make sure that you do this very safely. Every horse reacts differently. Though she's been really great with all the other desensitizing so far, it does not guarantee that when I take this shot that she may not spook or jump over. So you just want to keep safety in mind. I personally like to put my lead line in my back pocket, so that way she has a little bit of tension on it, but if she needs to get away from me or I need to get away from her, the lead line comes away nice and easy and nobody gets hurt. So we're gonna try and do our first shot and see how it goes. Firing. Good girl. She didn't seem to care one bit, did she? Good girl. We want to reassure our horse that they did a fantastic job in between shots. I'm going to do another one. Firing. We had a little bit of a head lift, but she didn't really do much. Her body was pretty solid. She's just hanging in there. That's a good girl, Calypso. I'm going to do another one. Getting ready. Firing. And this time she didn't even budge. That's a good girl. Good girl, mama. And last one. And she didn't even move. Good girl. So far, so good for Miss Calypso. Join us next time as we move forward with her training, and we're going to start trying to do some shooting from her back. Have a great day, everyone.